All right, let's keep going. Let's get our drawers calculated. Okay, so I've got 3 drawers. 1, 2, 3. Each 3 drawers have 4 sides and a bottom. So I'm going to calculate this in a map that includes all the fronts, right? I've got one. Maybe I should do this a little more to scale, make it more sense. So there's the bottom. There we go. Let's do that. So I've got the fronts there. And the fronts are 4 1/4. Right? I'm going to round it to 4, 4, and 12. They are also 14 inches wide. That's the fronts. Front, front, front. I also have the back that look exactly the same. A back, and a back. Then I have the sides of the drawers. 1 side, 2 sides. So do you see how this map is kind of helping me to calculate this a little simpler? And the sides are going to be 18 inches long. So that's 14, that's 14, that's 18, that's 18. Calling it a side. Where did I get the 18 from? Right there. That's the depth of that cabinet, and the drawer is going to go all the way back. Okay, so that's not the bottom yet. That's just the sides, the front and the back. But that's all we're going to make out of solid cherry. The bottoms we're going to make out of plywood. So let's calculate this first. I go board foot equals thickness times width times length divided by 144. So my thickness is 1. My width, and it doesn't matter which one I put first. It's the grain goes like this, right? So I'm going to go 20, 4 plus 4 plus 12, times that in length. That one I'm going to have to use my calculator for. 14 plus 14 plus 18 plus 18 equals 64. Divided by 144. Do the calculation. That's not right. 20 times 64 times 1 divided by 144 equals 8.88 board feet. That's my drawers. Now the bottoms. Okay. I'm going to hold off on the drawer bottoms until last because I want to calculate, it's a different material. So I'm going to calculate those after this. Let's now do the stretchers down below and this apron right here. And I'm going to do a little map like this. That's 2 inches, so I'm going to do that one there. And this is only in the back of the desk, not the front of the desk. So I'm going to go 2 inches by 34 3/4, 35 inches. That's how big that is. And there's 2 of those on the top. So I'm going to make 2 more that are 2 inches. The one on top's not quite 2 inches. It's 1 5/8, but I'm rounding up. Then I've got one on the side here, one there, one there, and one there. And those are all 12 3/4. I'm going to round it to 13. Make another little map of those. I need 4 of them, called a materials map. Okay, stretchers and aprons, that's what we should call these. Stretchers and aprons. Okay, let's calculate the board foot separately for those. Okay, so for this one first, we got thickness is 1 times the width is 6 times 35 divided by 144. 1.45 board feet, and this one I go 1 times 8 times 13 divided by 144. 0.72 board feet. And I think that concludes every piece of material in there except the drawer bottoms. I'm not going to worry about the poles. They're so minuscule, it's just not an issue, at least for what I'm doing right now. If I'm doing those out of a piece of exotic lumber or something, I probably need to figure that in, but I'm not as of right now. I think that contains everything that is in this desk. So let's do a grand total of all of our 1-inch thick material. So I go 9.5 plus 2.3. Oh, I already did all those down there. 14.05 plus 8.88 plus 1.45 plus 0.72. So that's 25.1 board feet total. Call that the grand total. I'm going to erase that one so I don't confuse it. That's the total of everything on there. Okay, so now I'm ready to put it down on my sheet. So thickness is 4/4. I'm using cherry. And this time I'm using a number 1 cherry. Now this is what we stock out there. And that's what I want you to use. That way it's not difficult to get it. We just already have it. So I'm going to do a number 1 cherry. That's the grade. My quantity is 25.1 board feet. The waste factor times 1.3. Whew. So now it's getting heavy. So that's 32.63. My cost for board foot is 2.22. That's pretty cheap for wood, times 2.22, especially cherry. And the cost then of that is going to be 72.43. How about that? Okay, so far the desk has costed me somewhere around $125. That is a deal. Okay, let's talk about our sheet goods. Sheet goods, we're going to buy, not by the board feet. It actually comes in sheets. And what we're going to use for our drawers is called Baltic birch. Here it is under hardwood plywood. Right now we're talking about sheets. We're going to be using 1/2 inch Baltic birch. And it comes in a 5x5 sheet and a 4x8 sheet. 5x5 is usually less expensive, so we're going to get that. Okay. $22.81 a sheet. So we say, well, how much do I need? And I want you to calculate it by 1/2 a sheet, and we'll share. Okay, so 5x5, that's feet, so that means 60 inches. 60 inches. So this is a 1/2 inch Baltic birch, because it comes from the Baltic states, by the way. Baltic countries, I should rather say. That means Finland and in that area next to Russia. 60 inches by 60 inches. Now our drawers, drawer bottoms, are going to be 14 inches wide by 18 long. So this is the way I do it. I take my sheet here, and knowing about half of that is 30 inches. So 14 is about a fourth. 14 inches wide by 18 inches long. And I need 2 of those. I need 3 of those. Okay. So I don't need more than a half sheet. I want you to calculate it in half sheet increments. So one half a sheet is going to be plenty. And you might be buying a little bit more, but this stuff is not overly expensive, and you make a mistake and you need to cut another one, and I think it just simplifies the process if you just order it in half sheets. So I need 1 half sheet. So, sheet goods. Thickness, 1/2 inch. Species, Baltic birch. Grade, there is no grade. Quantity, 1/2. Cost per sheet, $22.81. So the total cost, 22.81 divided by 2 equals $11.40. There is not going to be any hardware. There's going to be poles, but we're going to make them out of little stuff. So I don't need any hardware. The shop fee, that does cost us money for fastener, sandpaper, glue, lacquer, and finish supplies. That's going to be $30 for the year. We'll keep $10 of that for your other projects, your turning projects, and your skateboard, hoping that we get to those. So for now, I want you to figure your shop fee to be $20. So now we're going to add all these up and find the grand total. 39.17 plus 11.04 plus 72.43 plus 11.4 plus 20. $154.04 is going to be the cost of this desk. $154 built-in cherry. Now, it's going to change according to how big a project you're going to have, right? How much and what kind of wood you're using. So I calculated in cherry. Walnut will be more expensive, guaranteed. Maple is similar to cherry, right? But when you get into walnut, 4/4 rustic's not so bad, but your FAS 5/4 and your 8/4 gets to be kind of pricey. So it'll be more expensive in walnut. Now, can you change woods? Can you use different species? Of course you can. So you just calculate, right? Tell me what species you're doing and how much you need of each species. So in this practice, I want you to give me this, right? Take photos of your material and cost list, your notes, and you submit all of it. And I'll give you credit. And you do it just like I did it here for this assignment. On the next assignment you're going to do, which is your own desk, you're going to go through this whole thing but with your project.